79, episode 79 of the Drew Pavley Show. I'm going to be playing a bit of Grand Theft Auto, shit talking. If you're watching, leave some comments in the chat. It will be very much appreciated. And yeah, tell me if the audio is working well as well. Please let me know. Leave a comment.
Episode 7.
Hang on. Gonna play GTA Online. Very important stuff. Give me a second for people to join. I'm just gonna share the link around and whatnot. Yes, Easy Money, I see your chat. I am going to go on Pisco's show tomorrow, actually. My mic's bad, apparently. Okay, let me fix it. Hang on. What's wrong with my mic? 1 second. Is it really that bad? What's wrong with it? So, I've got my mic. Is this better, guys? Please let me know. How's the mic going? Is it better now? I've fixed it a bit. I think it's a bit better. I think it's a bit better. Please let me know. How's that now? I think I fixed it. Leave a like on the video, guys. It's very important. Very important. Turn it up a bit. Okay. How about this? I don't know why it's now soft. For fuck's sake. I don't know. Just gonna share the link to my Discord. Oh, Pisco's had a big meltdown about me. Okay, we'll watch that. When are you debating Omar? Which Omar? Which Omar would you like me to go against? There are so many people that I need to debate all the time. Drew, do the gun running shit for Ukraine. Pisco's so fucking annoying. Pisco's literally one of the most annoying cunts in the world. Can somebody summarize what Pisco said? Fuck is annoying person. Okay. What did Pisco say about me? Tell me what he said. Just watch the video. I'm going to watch the video, but I'm gaming for a bit first. It's very important that we have a bit of Drew gaming time, okay? I haven't gotten to chill for a bit.
take on Mark Latham. I've actually invited Mark Latham on the show. I've said to Mark Latham to join the Drew Pavlis show. It'd be very important. Oh shit. Accidentally hit a gangbanger. Banger. Omar Alvarez. I'll debate Omar Alvarez. Ask Omar when he'll come on the Drew Pavlis show and we'll debate. Drew GTA clan. We can create one. We can create one. Hang on. I'll debate Omar anytime. I'm not worried about Omar. Pisco called you 2 IQ and a shitty runner. Pisco went to like the fucking 500th best law school in fucking America. Who even gives a fuck? He's a fucking retard. Pisco went to like the 38 millionth best law school in America, and he thinks that because of that, he's the fucking, I don't know, he thinks he's like a judge of the Supreme Court. He's such a fucking spastic. Pisco didn't go to NYU. Pisco went to like some fake law school, and he thinks because of that he's on the Supreme Court. It's such a fucking joke. Fucking hate Pisco. Fucking hate Pisco. Fuck, we're in Compton. Fuck. Pisco's such a joke. Pisco went to like America's 10,000th best law school, like probably like literally basically a fake law school, and he thinks because of that he's like a justice of the Supreme Court. Such a fucking clown show. Such a fucking idiot. I got him. He was completely wrong on the grooming gangs, by the way. He was like massively wrong on the grooming gangs. My ideal Democrat nominee for 2028 is Lee Kuan Yew. By the way, can somebody try leave a $5 TT? I've tried to enable TTS. Please see if it works. If somebody wants to take one for the team and just like donate $5, see if the TTS works. Please let me see. It'd be good if we could find out. Why'd you call me a thug on the streets of Brisbane? That guy, some random guy, it was a very bad thing. Some derelict, methodic shoulder charged me, and then when I asked for an apology, he then tried to fight me. That was a terrible, terrible situation. Fuck, what was the explosion just then? I loved your review of Superman. Thank you. At least somebody fucking understands my misunderstood genius. Finally, somebody fucking understands. I even had people in my Discord counter signaling me. Get the fuck out of my Discord. If you're just gonna counter signal me and talk about how bad I am, get the fuck out of the Discord. Come on. Seriously, I'm so sick. So sick of these fair weather friends. Pisco was right about Elon, but I was right about the grooming gangs. It ended up being the case that the grooming gangs were... The independent report in Britain found them to be a genuine, very severe threat. And Pisco was basically acting like they didn't exist. I would debate the derelict man on crack who did that to me. I would, actually. What the fuck's Pisco's problem? How do I debate you? Would you accept? I mean, sure. Who are you? What do you want to debate? You have to at least explain to me what we're going to be debating. I got that helicopter. Beautiful. When will you apologize to Micomanius for making fun of his appearance? He's a slug. I'm not going to apologize to him. He's just some miserable fucking idiot slug. I'll do the Malachi debate as well. We'll do that soon. There's a lot of people I need to debate. A lot of people I fight with. Oh, I made it to 5 stars. Without any cheats. Beautiful. I'll debate Micomanius on who's more attractive. So, this guy wants to debate me on the Holocaust. Are you serious, dude? You actually want to debate me on the Holocaust? Oh yeah, I got the helicopter pilot. Yo, somebody leave a super chat because I'm pretty sure I've got TTS enabled, and so this computer should read out in a funny voice your question / comment. I got TTS enabled, so leave a super chat, guys. I want to test if it actually works. David says, I'm not denying it. I want to discuss how it's been remembered and what lessons we derive from it today. Okay, like what in particular do you want to debate about? Thoughts on Selena 10101? I don't really have many thoughts. I haven't properly engaged with... Oh, damn, they got me from behind. Okay, I'm actually leaving GTA. We're gonna turn off GTA. We're gonna watch the Pisco thing because I'm so pissed off. Okay. Okay, hang on. How do I get out of here? Okay, I'm gonna watch the Pisco thing. I'll play online, but we've got to watch the Pisco thing first. It's very important. Okay. Okay. Let's go. He's not a lawyer. He's not a fucking lawyer, okay? He's not a fucking lawyer. He's a retarded person. Somebody says Drew Pavlik Group of $2. Thank you, thank you. Did the TTS... I don't think the TTS is working. Fucking hell. I changed it. I changed the settings. It should basically... For fuck's sake. Dude, Streamlabs is so fucking annoying, seriously. Streamlabs. Okay. Yo, guys, we've only got 3 likes on the stream. Please leave a like. Leave a like on the stream so that we can reach more people. It's really important. Leave a like on the stream. It's very important. That's a very crucial thing. You've got to leave a like to help us reach more people. Okay, so... Okay, got my alert box here. Come on, fucking hell. Why is it not... Why is it disabled? Okay, text to speech should be on now. Should be on. Hang on. YouTube. Okay, I think I've now enabled, pretty sure that it should now work, the text-to-speech thing. I hope so. Okay.
The new Superman movie is basically Nazi agitprop against Jews. He He goes, I wish I was kidding, but it's literally a Groiper movie. It's like something out of Goebbels. By the way, Drew's an incredibly shitty writer. Like
No, I'm not.
Very clearly represent.
Fuck off and die, Pisco. Fucking hell. Went to some retarded law school. Thinks he's fucking genius. Thinks he's smarter than everyone. Fuck off and die, Pisco.
Israel, very clearly supposed to represent Gaza. Every paragraph has very clearly. Whenever you read very clearly, it means I have no evidence for this whatsoever. The thesis of this film is that America is dominated by Zog. That's what you think the theme is of the film. If you have any like Arab or Muslim looking person in your movie, you're engaged in blood libel. Then they have Superman arrested by ICE. It's a meme. It's a meme. Don't get mad. It's a meme.
Hey folks, please like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to check out my newsletter. Information is in the description.
I'm going to talk about Superman the movie. I'm not going to spoil anything. It's not going to be like any spoilers, so don't worry. I'll be very conscious of the fact that some of you may not have seen the movie.
Why is TTS not working?
Talk a little bit about like.
Why is TTS not working? I literally enabled it. Fuck's sake. Why is Streamlabs so hard to fucking use?
Like the reaction to it, and just about like themes that again won't reveal plot points or any plot twists or anything, so just be aware of that. You don't have to necessarily cover your ears unless you're that averse to hearing stuff about the movie, because Drew Pavlov tweeted the following. And
by the way, guys, leave a like on the stream, helps us reach more people. We went from 3 likes on the stream to 7 likes, and suddenly the viewer count jumped by like 10 people. So please leave a like, helps us reach more people. Very important. Extremely important. Leave a like. You have to leave a like. Please leave a like. Okay, back to Pisco.
now I really want to talk to Drew Pavlov about this. Drew Pavlov tweets, quote, "The new Superman movie..."
Say my name correctly. I'm sick of people saying Pavlov. It's so fucking annoying.
Movie is basically Nazi agitprop against Jews. As the film reaches its climax, I'm not going to reveal the plot points. Basically, he's claiming that there's an allusion to extermination of Jews in it. He goes, "I wish I was kidding, but it's literally a Groiper movie. It's like something out of Goebbels. They literally present Zionists as an interdimensional cosmic threat." I want to just take a second here to address this. It is absolutely unhinged.
It's not.
It is completely unhinged.
It's not at all.
Drew Pavlov to tweet this, and everyone who's like examining this movie about a guy in tights like it's some kind of political propaganda anymore more than any other like superhero movie. It is so bizarre.
Are you planning to do more video essays? Yeah, I am.
Number one,
I am.
let's take on like the actual like immigration side of it. People are like, wow, the movie talks and has themes about, Superman not being like the other humans, but still being able to overcome it and them accepting him even though he's from another country, and they're trying to paint him as like an illegal immigrant. When, guys, I don't know what to tell you. He's an illegal immigrant, okay? Canonically, Superman is an illegal alien. He arrives from planet Krypton, crashes into the United States without inspection and admission. He's not even human. The government starts looking for him, and two parents hide him, sequester him, and make up a backstory for him and pretend that he's their child. And he hides that secret for some period of time, canonically, right? So he literally is an illegal alien. The Superman story, the whole mythology is, even though he comes from this far off land, he learns from the, good people around him and to become like us. So anyone can be like us. And he's us at our greatest ideal, right? He arrives here from a different planet and he gets our values and he upholds them to the highest, right? At an almost unreachable standard. And he actually becomes a defender of the planet and the American way, although that was kind of added after. He becomes a defender of that, having arrived here and being embraced by the good people of the earth and of Smallville. That's always been a running theme of Superman. Superman has never been like a strong on borders, like a MAGA guy. Superman is kind. Superman is heroic. Superman wants to save people in distress. He wants to provide, even going so far as to sacrifice himself in many instances. Superman is not this you need to get out kind of person. I'm not saying that he will never believe in borders or anything like that, but that's not what Superman represents. Superman comes to this planet, he learns to love and see value in the humans around him, and he also receives a lot of values from them, and then he becomes a protector. He becomes a protector of Metropolis and of the world. That's his story. It's fundamentally a pro-immigrant story. I don't think the movie is that heavy-handed at all with respect to that. And again, I want to just state that has been a theme of Superman the whole time. It would be like saying, wow, Batman. I can't believe Batman's going on and on and on about corruption or whatever, and doing the right thing, even when I don't know. It's like going after Batman or Spider-Man for some theme that's definitely been in there the entire time. So that doesn't make any sense. And then there's another, because there's a kind of subplot about countries. I'm not gonna get into the spoiler territory for Superman, but there's a subplot there. People are trying to liken it to Israel-Palestine. This movie was probably written before October 7th, and there are always these conflicts between the fake countries they make up in all these superhero movies, right? Sokovia from Marvel, Wakanda, they always have these conflicts, and I think people are reading too much into it. To call that movie a Nazi movie is literally degenerate. Drew Pavlov in that respect is no worse than the most outrageous MAGA shills in that respect. For
Fuck off, Pisco's cunt.
him to come out of that movie saying this is a Nazi movie, only a paid shill or a literal unhinged person would say that. And I think it betrays kind of a guilty conscience a little bit, I have to say. If you go into that movie and you're like, wow, this is a movie that's imposing its politics on me, and I don't like how it makes me feel, maybe that's a reflection of yourself, that you're not living up to Superman's ideals and what Superman as a kind person stands for.
Pisco looks disgusting as well. Pisco just looks disgusting if you look at his face.
And maybe you're a little bit guilty about Israel-Palestine. Just saying. I mean, when you see that from Drew Pavlov, it's pure propaganda, it's pure shillism, it's pure brain rot. And when I schedule that conversation with Drew, it'll be the first thing we talk about is we're going to force him to back down from that unhinged position, calling Superman a Nazi movie, calling it
I'm not backing
Goebbels.
down from shit.
Can you believe that? Superman is in the movie trying to save everybody, trying to save the life of even things that other people don't. He's so intent on saving, right? Because that's what he does. That's why I love this Superman. And that's why I like this. This rendition of Superman, the character Superman, because he's a good person trying to save people. That's what Superman does. And to turn that into something it's just so silly. And it makes me think that there's a guilty conscience there. Also, the main actor is literally Jewish. Is David really Jewish? He's probably one of the bad ones, according to Drew. One of the collaborators. He's literally Jewish. David Cornswent is literally Jewish. He plays Superman. Goebbels movie, though. Oh, wait, he had a whole article about this. He wrote an article. All right, now we have to review the article. Holy crap. Oh, wait, this has spoilers. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. For the next, I'm going to actually read this. I can't not read this. I'm sorry. This is too unhinged. There will be a spoiler warning in the sense that I'm giving you a spoiler warning right now. Step out if you've not seen the movie, or if you don't care. Or if you do care, right? If you care about the spoilers. You'll know, so you can come back, right? You can unmute it once I'm off of Drew Pavlov's article. And once I'm back on Rob Noor. When you see Rob Noor's face, you can come back, okay? This is insane that he writes this. The new Superman movie is basically Nazi agitprop against Jews. Congrats to Nick Fuentes for his screenwriting debut. Unhinged. Absolutely unhinged. I just finished watching the new Superman movie, and I was
literally right. I am literally right. Fuck off, Pisco.
Legitimately stunned by just how anti-Semitic it is. I went into the film with low expectations because I saw various mentally ill leftist figures on social media crow about the film as a total cultural war victory against Israel, America, and the West. So he's going into this movie with an expectation that it's bad because of leftists that he's reading on Twitter. Various mentally ill leftist figures. And he sees this film as a cultural war victory against America. Against America?
I didn't say that it was a cultural victory against America. I was saying this is what the leftist was talking about when it came to the movie.
Now let's see his actual argumentation here. Sean King wrote on Substack that, quote, outside of literally calling the two nations Israel and Palestine, it couldn't be any clearer. Again, I want to stress, this movie was written before October 7th. Hassan Piker called it 2 hours and 10 minutes of Israel. They're just wrong about that. That's them reading into it, right? So the conclusion there might be, okay, they're reading too much into it. They're reading the message as being anti-Israel, which, by the way, a reasonable person could interpret it that way.
Guys, I don't know what the donation link is for the Streamlabs. I don't understand what it is, unfortunately. Oh, fucking hell. Where is it? Drew Pavlov Streamlabs. How are you supposed to find the link? Fucking hell. I hate Streamlabs, dude. Streamlabs is so shit to use compared to Streamlabs. Compared to StreamYards, Streamlabs is so shit to use. Seriously. It's just shit. It's just fucking shit. Like, how am I how do I find... How am I supposed to find my Streamlabs chat? Destination link. How am I supposed to find that? Go to Streamlabs dashboard. Okay, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna have to. Just so aids to use. Like, it's so hard to use compared to StreamYard. StreamYard is so much easier. Okay, so tipping. Is this what we want? Oh, your tip page. Okay. Here's your tip page. All right, I think I found it. 1 second.
Called it 2 hours and 10 minutes of Israel. They're just wrong about that. That's them reading into it, right?
Hey Con, how you going? All right, guys, I posted the Streamlabs link. Try see if that works in terms of TTS, because it should work. I enabled the settings, should fucking work. Hello, creature. All right, so I put text-to-speech settings on the tips from the StreamYard link, so it should work. Should work. Okay. All right, it should work. I hope it does.
Because what Israel's doing is f***ing horrible and bad, and Superman doesn't stand for it.
Isn't your dog jealous those two get all the attention? Yeah, no, I'm looking after them for one more week.
So a reasonable person could watch Superman and be like, huh, well, Superman wants to save people.
What's happening in Damascus? It's very scary. There's a lot of sectarian conflict, and there's sectarian violence against the Druze of southern Syria, which is horrible, and I completely condemn it. Thoughts on Israel bombing Syria? I don't think Israel should seek conflict with the new Syrian government. I think the new Syrian government has indicated over and over again that it actually wants to sign the Abraham Accords. That said, the sectarian violence that we've seen against both the Alawites and the Druze of southern Syria is really horrific, really horrific.
And so maybe the country that's doing a genocidal slaughter isn't like something that Superman would stand for. But I don't think that doesn't make the movie about Israel-Palestine any more than like any movie about any good like people, right? It's not about it. It's just people taking the message of the movie of being like, let's save people, let's be like good people generally, let's like try to love each other, and turning it into political messaging. And even if you don't accept that framing, if you call these people mentally ill, why would you accept their framing? Like, why would you accept the framing?
IDF said that they were bombing Damascus, the military HQ. Yeah, that's a big step.
Of the mentally ill leftist figures. So I bought a ticket with all of this in mind and took a notepad to the screening so that I could write down my observations. These are detailed below. Oh my God. Wait, so because the guy has the hair, he's claiming that James Gunn was making a comparison to David Ben-Gurion, to this president guy. First of all, their hair is different. You think he was talking about David Ben-Gurion? Crazy. The primary villain in the new Superman film is Vasil Gurkos. That's not true. Hey, Pavla, the primary villain in the new Superman is called Lex Luthor. What are you...
Lex Luthor is doing everything in conjunction with the ally, in conjunction with the stand-in for Israel. It's so obvious.
Talking about Lex Luthor and Ultraman and the Engineer. Vasil Gurkos is some like tier 3 like puppet of Lex Luthor. Hold on, let him...
He's not a puppet of Lex Luthor. He's doing everything in conjunction, hand in hand with Lex Luthor.
Cook. Let him cook. That's not the primary villain. The primary villain is Lex Luthor. Did you not watch the movie? Or did you go into it like looking for this shit? Vasil Gurkos, the leader of the fictional country of Moravia, which is very clearly supposed to represent Israel. Why? That's not clear to me at all. Wait, is it the fact that Vasil Gurkos is invading another country without... is that what is making this obviously clearly meant to represent Israel? So anytime we have a country that is engaged in an invasion of another country, it's meant to represent Israel. He's very much Vasil Gurkos. It's almost like a Slavic country. He has kind of a Slavic accent. It doesn't make any sense. How do you know it's supposed to represent Israel? Actually, Vasil Gurkos happens to look almost exactly like David Ben-Gurion. They don't look exactly the same. They sound different.
Very similar.
They
look
different.
very similar.
This is crazy.
So obvious.
Bravia first appeared in the issue of Superman from 1939. Yeah, like this is not what it's trying to do. You need some proof. He also happens to have the exact same accent as Benjamin Netanyahu. Not true. He does not at all have the same accent as Benjamin Netanyahu. It's so different than Benjamin Netanyahu. That's crazy.
It's not different. It's a very thick, like, Mediterranean accent. I saw the movie. I saw the fucking movie.
Crazy. He's accent deaf. He's completely accent deaf. We first see him shrieking on American television, demanding American support for Bravia Israel. Again, he's provided zero support that the country of Moravia is meant to represent Israel, right? Nothing. He just says it's very clearly supposed to represent Israel. He doesn't give any reason. Just because Vasil Gurkos happens to look like Ben Gurion, where, again, I don't think he looks like Ben Gurion, and because he sounds like Bibi Netanyahu, no. He doesn't sound like Bibi Netanyahu. He tells us the streets must be flooded with blood.
Drew, my Streamlabs donation didn't pop up in TTS. What the fuck's the problem? Does anybody know how to fucking enable TTS? This is fucking ridiculous at this point. Why would it not pop up? That's so fucking annoying. Seriously, does anybody know why TTS isn't working? Because I literally went onto Streamlabs, I enabled it. As you can see, alert box, Streamlabs text-to-speech settings here. Did you enable the alert box? I did. It's enabled on my Streamlabs. So I just don't know what the fuck the problem is. It's so annoying. Okay, can you see this, right? Okay, you can see my Streamlabs right now. My alert box is right at the top. I've clicked to put it up there. So I don't know what else I needed to fucking do. This is ridiculous.
Blood every Darhan Purin Palestinian. He does not say this. This is not a quote. Palestine, like, this is not a quote. He tells us that, like, this is, now I know he's trying to be cute here, but you should really not put in a fake quote. You should, like, because this is not scare quotes. Scare quotes is something else, right? You could do something in scare quotes. This is not scare quotes. This is like a fake quote. This is not said. And also, he doesn't say this initially. Initially, he's talking about, this is to protect the Darhan Purins, right? He doesn't say this blood part.
First, add an alert box source to your stream. I've done that. Diddy or Epstein. Fuck it up. Guys, seriously, what the fuck do I click? This is so unbelievably annoying. So as you can see, alert box, I'm clicking alert box. Okay, I go click alert box. And then, like, what? I've got it enabled. I don't know what else I need to fucking do. Okay, hang on. Should work now, maybe. YouTube, super chats. Okay, can somebody try this out now? The communists have seized control of the stream. Very true. Actually, very true. Disturbing. Disturbing. Yeah, can somebody try? Somebody try. I should have the alert box set up now. I don't know what the problem is. Should work now. Otherwise, I'm gonna kill myself. I can't believe this. See you, Leona. Can somebody leave a $1 super chat and see if it works? Please, please let it be working now. Picture this, you're at the gym slogging through your treadmill, instead of music you have Drew Pally screaming, "I want the cunt who stole my wallet, sacrifice." Yeah, it's true. This is very true. What did you put the volume at? Hang on, alert box. Where is this? The alert box volume is at 100. So it should work. If it doesn't work, I'm slitting my wrists. Yeah, somebody put $1 in, see if TTS works. Please let it work. I'm so sick of it not working. How many people we got what now? Not many people. 22 people watching live. Please leave a like, guys. It's very important.
Until they actually do the invasion. And again, so this is a fake quote. Gurkos, Netanyahu, and Beravia, Israel, want to invade the neighboring country of Jarhanpur, which is very clearly supposed to represent Gaza. Why? Why is this very clearly supposed to represent Gaza? I'll tell you some differences. The Jarhanpurians are a separate recognized country. They're not a constructively occupied country by Israel. There's clear borders that they're going to try to break up, right? I guess in that respect, the fact that they're talking about annexing it, I guess. But other people have annexed before in history, like Saddam Hussein annexed, Russia annexed, right? That's a Slavic country that annexed. And so I just don't understand why this is supposed to represent Gaza. What about it is supposed to represent Gaza? The fact that they're kind of outmatched, but again, that happens in history. Apart from Israel-Palestine, nothing about the setup here is directly tying to Israel-Palestine. This is crazy. We are told in the film that Superman previously showed up during a previous bout of fighting between Beravia, Israel, and Gaza, Jarhanpur. This is crazy. To intervene on the side of the Palestinians, and that this drew the ire of the American and Israeli governments. I don't know what to say. This is playing on a theme that's as old as dirt in superhero movies, which is if you just think about saving people, and you don't think about like, well, should you save people? Who elected you? Like these are things that it's a great scene where Lois Lane is challenging him and talking about like and actually pushing back on the notion that you should just like save no matter what and not really think it through. So it's a really awesome scene. It's not at all kind of it's not presented as this like clear-cut answer. The movie doesn't super explore that theme that much more than that, but it presents it, and it's like a kind of, you're not really left with the overwhelming notion that, okay, Superman should just be like reckless about everything he does. In the end, ultimately they do save, but that's when you discover that there's like a literal evil plan, and that Superman, it's not actually Superman who saves, and Superman needs to like call on his friends. Indeed, Superman tells his love interest Lois Lane that he flew to the Netanyahu character. So wild. So he has not, is this the Netanyahu character or the Ben Gurion character? It actually makes no sense, right? Because David Ben Gurion, he does not represent the kind of government that like Bibi Netanyahu represents. They come from different political orientations and foundations. On the one hand, you have the more secular socialist Zionists, and then you have this like kind of reform Zionism or this kind of
If you ask anti-Zionists if there's any difference between Ben Gvir, Ben Gurion, and Netanyahu, they will tell you there's no difference whatsoever, according to the anti-Zionists.
This new Likud party, you know, they're not. He's not clear on, or Drew, I think, is not clear here on the comparison. He's meant to look like Ben Gurion, but he's supposed to represent Netanyahu. Okay, again, the movie was written before October 7th. He flew him out to the desert where he tortured him with a cactus to stop threatening the Palestinians, which I suppose represents a nice power fantasy for lefties. Holy crap. So the film basically centers on Netanyahu's attempt at getting revenge. No, it doesn't. That's kind of like a B plot. The movie centers on like the conflict between Lex Luthor and Superman. The movie's about
But Lex Luthor is working on behalf of the Israel stand-in in the film. It's so obvious.
Superman. It doesn't really spend that much time. Actually, you could critique them for not spending that much time building up the Barovia conflict. It's not at all about this. An Israeli-American military-industrial complex plot to take out Superman and incapacitate him so the Barovia Israel can have a free hand to reinvade Gaza, Jarhanpur, and genocide the Palestinians. This is such a self report. Now, we are told in the film that Barovia and Jarhanpur are in Eastern Europe, but when we see footage of evil Baravian troops massing on the border with Jarhanpur, it's very clearly a desert setting. Is he about to do like a racist meme? The civilians of Jarhanpur are very clearly Arab Muslims, with the women all wearing hijabs. They hold sticks and stones against the might of the Baravian force.
That's true though. The women are wearing Arab clothing and they've got hijabs on, and he's telling us that this is supposed to be in Eastern Europe.
Forces, who are depicted as an all-white colonial force. We later see a map of Jarhanpur in the film. The outlines of the state of Jarhanpur look very similar to Gaza. No, they don't. They really don't. It's like a larger country, and it's so big that they're going to split it in half and have Lex Luthor take over another half of it. This is so insane. Wait, so this is the picture. This is the picture of the Jarhanpurans, and it's like this is very clearly Gaza. And by the way, self-report that because they're in hijab, they must be Gazans or Palestinians. Also, this woman is not in a hijab. Also, not everyone in Gaza wears a hijab. They're more lenient on that in Palestine. Crazy shit. This guy looks pretty white. And also, by the way, there are white people who are Palestinians. They look very white. This looks like God. Look, right? So this is what looks like the borders of Gaza. Jarhanpur, right? Very clearly demarked borders that's so big that they're splitting it in half, right? Arabia's under it. How does this look like Gaza? Explain that to me, right? This is the plan to.
Because it's you can see it's like the curve of the Mediterranean coastline, and it's like an enclave. It's crazy. And to the left of it is territory that is not Baravia or Jarhanpur, which is very similar to the situation in Gaza, where to the left of Gaza is Egypt.
And New Baravia? How does this look like the map of Gaza? Explain it to me? Actually insane. My guess, for what it's worth, is that the script probably originally called for Baravia to represent Russia, with Baravia's leader representing Vladimir Putin. How could you say that, Drew Pavla? He doesn't look like Putin. How can this represent Putin if he doesn't look like him? We see hints of this previous incarnation of the film buried beneath the final cut. For example, Gurko speaks a Slavic language, and when he's finally killed in the film's triumphant final moments, we see him drop from a great height over a very clearly Slavic capital that looks like Moscow, complete with the onion domes of Russian Orthodoxy architecture. So there are indeed some half-arsed references to Eastern Europe for plausible deniability, even though the references very clearly don't make sense within the film's universe. By the way, Drew's an incredibly shitty writer, and whenever he reads very clearly, whenever you say clearly, right? Look very clearly.
Shitty writer, and the guy went to like America's 137th best law school. Wow, dude, you're such an impressive intellect.
Represent Israel very clearly. Supposed to represent Gaza. Every paragraph has very clearly. Whenever you read very clearly, it means I have no evidence for this whatsoever. That's what very clearly means. The overall narrative of the film is so clearly related to the Israel-Palestine conflict that it just doesn't feel that way at all, right? Something that would make it more related to the Israel-Palestine conflict is that you have evidence of the Jarhanpurians like doing some kind of terrorist act or something, and that some reference. Baravia claims that Jarhanpur, whatever, there was some kind of attack, and they're complicated and making it seem like October 7th. Again, this was written before October 7th. That Baravia, has this kind of oversight control over the borders of Jarhanpur. Again, look at all the borders that Jarhanpur has with other fake countries. It's not just Baravia; they're kind of similar in size. It's not at all. They don't play in the metrics of the underlying fundamentals of the conflict at all. The only, I guess, similarity is like one side is outmatched by another and the other side's invading. It's so clearly related, very clearly, related to the Israel-Palestine conflict. And these references just end up feeling like a pentimento. Quote, the presence or emergence of earlier images, forms, or strokes that have been changed and painted over by an artist. Again, no substantiation here. He's just speculating based on nothing. That, they set it up to be an Eastern European country and then very quickly change it with no evidence. This is because the film spent so much time trying to represent Baravia Israel's parasitically lording over the United States. That is like objectively false. The film goes out of its way that Lex Luthor is behind it all, that this guy Gurkos is a pawn of Lex Luthor. It is not at all meant to imply that Baravia is lording over the United States. That is like not even 1% of the film's implication. The whole thing is that Lex Luthor is behind it all. Lex Luthor is using this conflict as he even says it, right? He even says it. I'm using.
Yeah, he says it right at the end. After the entire film presents him basically being the slave to the Israel stand-in, then right at the end he goes, "No, actually, I was the one really in charge." And it doesn't even make sense within the entire theme. The entire plot of the movie doesn't make sense if you take him at his word right at the end where he goes, "Oh, no, I was the one in charge," when he very clearly wasn't over the entire course of the movie.
using this conflict to have an excuse to kill Superman, to try to kill Superman, to end Superman. It is exactly the opposite. Lex is the puppet master, not Baravia. The movie doesn't even spend that much time talking about Baravia. That's actually one of the shortcomings, I think, is it kind of mentions Baravia in a couple sentences at the start, and then you have a couple of clips of it, but they don't really spend a lot of time fleshing out Baravia. Pisco's very clearly very related to Drew because they very clearly have the same voice, clearly the same person. It just really wasn't spending time on Baravia that much at all. To the extent that like they do spend time talking about it, Baravia is very much not in the driver's seat. It's Lex Luthor behind everything else. Lex Luthor like beats the shit out of using his strategies, right? He's outsmarting Superman at various different points in time, and it's his puppet strings. He's controlling everything. It's not the Baravian guy who's kind of like this awkward guy who's kind of like bumbling, fumbling guy. It's not him. For example, right? Like they do like a false flag. One of the things is like a false flag, and it's all Lex's plan, right? Lex's master strategy. He made this false flag, not for the interest of Baravia. It's for Lex. This is not a state hostile to America like Putin's Russia, but instead an ally that corrupts and defiles America from within. No, right? Like Baravia is not stated to be a close ally, or actually I think they technically are an ally to America or something. Anyway, but like that's not important, right? Like they're not in the driver's seats. You don't see Baravian officials in the government like, oh yes, and you must help Baravia. Like you don't see that. You see Lex Luthor in these government meetings convincing American officials that Superman's like a threat. Why is Superman a threat? Right? Like think about it. He missed the whole anti-immigrant kind of like playing Superman against. The whole thing is right. Like America's threatened from within by the immigrant, by the alien, by Superman, and that's why there's this whole thing about the message from Krypton. So he's the Baravians don't even. That's not even how Lex is able to get Superman to submit himself to like justice or whatever. It's other stuff. Like so the Baravians are not the ones who are doing this whole shit. It's all Lex Luthor. And like they don't even spend that much time on Baravia. Their behavior in the film mirrors all the most vicious anti-Semitic caricatures and conspiracy theories about the Israeli-American alliance. So untrue, so untrue. Baravia, Israel basically dominates and lords over America, wantonly slaughtering random American civilians, and blowing up New York City skyscrapers with constant false flag terrorist attacks. No. Lex Luthor. First of all, there's a false flag planned by Lex Luthor, and people blame Superman for it. Hey, Superman, why'd you have to go to Baravia? And like, why'd you do this? And people start blaming Superman a little bit and turning on Superman. Right? His popularity declines because people blame Superman. They don't like blame as much Baravia. That's like one of the false flag stuff. And also, again, like it's Lex who's destroying these skyscrapers, and Baravia's not behind that. It's all Lex. It's all part of Lex machinations. Various New York City skyscrapers blown up by Israel. By Israel. This is all Lex's like machine. His pocket dimension machine. This is not at all.
The pocket dimension machine is being put in service of Israel in the film. It's so unbelievably obvious. How can Pisco not see this?
Baravia doing this, insanity, complete insanity. Like a Superman. So let me get this straight. Lex Luthor does some shit that puts Metropolis at risk, and Superman needs to like stop buildings from falling down. That's never happened in Superman. Superman doesn't like go and protect planes from buildings and protect planes out of the sky. Superman doesn't stop buildings that are collapsing and save everyone inside them. Lex Luthor doesn't threaten Metropolis ever with like destruction of buildings and sacrifice people needlessly. That never happens before. This clearly must be some kind of 9/11 illusion. Fucking insanity. Actual self-report. The thesis of this film is that America is dominated by Zog. That's what you think the theme is of the film. There is a hidden cabal of crackling Jews who run the government and control the country through military-industrial complex, and a corrupt network of media oligarchs who propagandize and brainwash the American population into submission to Brave Israel. That's not in there either, right? Like the media turns on Superman a little bit, but they also
No, it's very much. It's shown how Lex Luthor manipulates the media for Israel in the film.
turn on Lex near the end of it. The media is portrayed as sensationalist for sure, right? They're portrayed as sensationalist, but they're not portrayed as just mere. And they even say like no one likes Lex at the end. Like Lex, actually that's like one of the. I think Lex sometimes comes across as a little too maniacal. Sometimes I think he should be a little bit more suave. But I think Nicole does a good job. That's like one little nitpick I have. But this is not even true. The media like apologizes to Superman. They're not like run by a bunch of cackling Jews. And it is not enough for the film that Baravia Israel simply lords over the Americans. The Baravian Israeli government actually operates Zog across multiple different dimensions. Guys, Baravia isn't operating the pocket dimensions. This is just a straight up lie, right? Lex Luthor is operating.
It's not. All the pocket dimensions are being operated by the chief allies of Israel in the film.
In the pocket dimension. It's not Baravia. They operate pocket dimensions where they hold and torture their enemies. Again, not Baravia's enemies, Lex Luthor's enemies, right? Like they're literally saying like Lex Luthor is putting his former girlfriend to like talking shit.
Like Lex Luthor brings in the president of the Israel stand-in to stand there next to him and enjoy him executing people in front of Superman.
In the prisons. These aren't prisons for Baravia's enemies. They're prisons for Lex's enemies and the people who can like oppose Lex. Because Lex is like the evil genius who's invented all this shit, not Baravia. it makes zero sense. Why would Baravia imprison Lex's ex-girlfriends? The pocket dimensions create black holes that threaten the stability of the entire cosmos and indeed the very space-time continuum. I don't know what they say about the space-time continuum. I think they just say this is just him going like he's just confabulating. I don't think they've ever mentioned that it threatens the space-time continuum. It threatens to like destroy the Earth, but I don't think it threatens the very space-time continuum. So the film portrays Zog. No, it portrays Lex as a not a supernatural force, but that Lex he's operating with powers that he can't fully control and they're dangerous, and that he's willing to be reckless for his own ends, for his own hubris. As the film reaches its climax, Lex Luthor and Zog are willing to.
Can I get some context? I wrote an article about how there is pretty vicious conspiratorial anti-Semitism. These themes exist in the new Superman movie, and Pisco's calling me schizo for it, even though I've explained it very thoroughly in my article.
Legitimately exterminate humanity and the entire universe with a black hole purely so as to stop Superman from resisting the Baravian Israeli invasion of Burhanpur, Gaza. No, it's to draw out Superman to kill Superman. They even make a point of this in the movie. They're like, the Baravia thing is just an excuse. I don't really care about Baravia. They even show that like Lex is supplying weapons to Baravia at a steep discount. He doesn't give a about Baravia, taking control over that part of Baravia. That's just like a side deal. They literally go out of their way to say that the Baravia stuff is a side deal for Lex, and that what he really cares about is killing Superman. They literally make that point in the movie.
No, there's one line like that right near the end. It doesn't make sense. You watch 2.5 hours of America's ally in the film, controlling them, helping carry out all these terror attacks, etc. And then right at the end, it's like, no, we were actually in control of them. Yeah, so true, dude.
It's not about resisting the Baravian invasion that much. for Lex. That's a side thing for Lex. This is where the film devolves into frankly Goebbels tier racism, where the Yehudi Jews, Zionists, right, and the entire universe is kind of interdimensional supernatural pestilence. It's not the entire universe, it's just the Earth. I suppose it is probably relevant here that the director James Gunn once joked about Jews and ovens. Guys, this is 2009. I was being serious and not a joke. It's a Sabbath, and Jews aren't allowed to open the oven on the Sabbath, so I did them a favor. I don't know what this means or what the context is. I know that I've been to one of these dinners, and there's a lot of technology that isn't allowed to be used. I don't know what this is a reference to. I don't know the context. So this is the basic layout of the film. The basic foundation of the universe the writers constructed. Within this layout, we find many outright examples of cartoonish clownish anti-Semitism and blood libel. Where's the blood libel? Where's the anti-Semitism? The very first scene, for example, depicts a Baravian Israeli supervillain. This is not a Baravian. This is later. This is Ultraman. It's literally not Baravian. Blowing up skyscrapers in Manhattan. Throughout and again, this is just a distraction to get to Superman, not for Baravia. Throughout the film, the Baravian Israelis just constantly blow up and incinerate dozens of towering skies. No, Lex does this, right? Lex unleashes the kaiju. That's not
Lex
Baravian. No one
Luthor
said
does
this is a
this
Baravian
for
kaiju.
Baravia.
It's not Baravian's minions who do this. It's Lex's minions who unleash the kaiju. The what? Oh no. The Kai what? A very clear. Okay, how many times do you think he said very clear or clear in this entire thing? We're gonna do a control F in a second. A very clear wink and nod to anti-Semitic conspiracy theories depicting the Jews as the real perpetrators of the September 11th attacks. Unhinged. The hammer of Baravia destroys some concrete and windows. He doesn't even destroy. Yeah. Also, I don't think he actually destroys the stuff. That like he doesn't actually attack the city that much, punishing Superman for interfering in their affairs. And they even say like Superman's popularity is going down every damn time.
Yo, chat looks different. Hope the new PC build has been treating you well, Drew. Thank you, man. I'm using Streamlabs today. I wanted to try test out text to speech. It wasn't working, unfortunately.
And the blood libel. How is this blood libel, by the way? I understand like blood libel to be something different. The blood libel does not stop there. At one point, the evil stand-in for Ben Gurion Netanyahu abducts a random Arab streetcar vendor named Malik from the streets of New York City. Again, Lex Luthor does this and has Luthor execute him as a punishment for giving Superman some halal. Okay, so now he's literally. This is a meme. It's a troll. I'm the joke. This is a joke against me. They don't execute him as a punishment for giving Superman halal.
That's what they do. They literally kill him. Okay. The president of Israel is standing there next to Lex Luthor. They have this guy, an Arab streetcar vendor. They've abducted him because he's nice to Superman. He's given Superman some halal food. They abduct him off the street just to punish Superman, and then they shoot him in the head. That's the blood libel.
Well, it's a meme. It's a meme. I think Malik is actually the very first human character we are introduced to in the film. No, the engineer I think comes first, even though she's been augmented. She says that she was human. We were introduced to in the film, depicting helping the battered and severely injured Superman up from the crater. He tells Superman, "I gave you free falafel." What a nice man, we think. These are the people who are calling him Mamdani, an anti-Semite, by the way. He thinks this is anti-Semitic. If you have any like Arab or Muslim-looking person in your movie, you're engaged in blood libel. Ultimately, the film.
No, dude, it's not just that. It's the fact that they actually go out of their way to humanize this Arab streetcar vendor, and then they just have the president of Israel stand there and laugh as he gets shot in the head. That's where it becomes blood libel.
Goes to these lengths to humanize him. And this is actually racist from Drew, right?
No, it's
so that
not.
Lex Luthor can viciously shoot him in the head for no reason, while the evil stand-in for Ben Gurion Netanyahu cackles with Leon Superman cries, "No!" Okay, I mean, I don't know. This is such a reach. I mean, the subtlety of it all is just genius. The subtlety of it all. Goebbels very famous for his subtlety, right? The Goebbels very obvious Nazi.
Yeah, that's
propaganda.
the joke, dude.
Also
that's
very
the
subtle.
joke.
The Nazi
The
film
joke
is very known
is
for
that's
their
not
subtlety.
subtle
I
at
mean,
all.
the subtlety of it is all genius. They literally just pick up a random Arab streeter halal vendor off the street and shoot him in the head and laugh. The message is Israel is evil. The whites, Jews hate Arabs. Only a toddler cannot read this subliminal message or hear this dog whistle. Okay, is it subtle or is it very obvious? So it's a very obvious, subtle, subliminal message. Over and over, we're bombarded.
I say subtle as a fucking joke, man. It's so obviously not subtle. That's my joke. I'm taking the piss out of how unsubtle it is by saying, yeah, it's so subtle, okay?
With the message that Baravia, Israel, and the Zog, America, KKK, and military industrial complex. That's not even true, right? Like the people who are the most like down to earth are Superman's parents, Clark Kent's parents, the Kents, and they played really super redneck. It is not at all America bad message. Superman is trying to like save America, protect America. He tries to save and protect Metropolis. There are good people in Metropolis, right? And by the way, another point about the media here, right? Like the media is not depicted as just in the hands of Baravia at all. You have the Daily Planet, right? The most famous news organization in the whole Superman mythology, right? The Daily Planet is actively going to undermine the Baravian/Lex Luthor alliance, right? Where you have Lois Lane and the heads of the Daily Planet who are like in good faith seeking out the truth to undermine what Lex Luthor is doing. So
someone said here from Willie OAM. Did Willie OAM mention me recently? Cool. Let me know.
Just another point against this whole like Zog controlled media or whatever. We watched the Secretary of Defense. It's not the Secretary of Defense. It's like some general plot. So he's not even paying attention to the movie. Plot with Lex Luthor to kill Superman for Israel. No, he totally missed this, right? They're not killing him for Israel. They're killing him because there was a message from Krypton that basically, when they decoded it, supposedly it said Superman go control the whole world and establish a harem and pass on your seed. That was like part of the message that Superman never received, and they later decoded it, and they released that message. And so they're not doing this for Baravia. In fact, before they get that message, they're totally unwilling to go after Superman. It's only once they have the message from Krypton, and there's some like evidence perhaps that he was sent here to rule over the humans, that ultimately we have the American government willing to allow Lex Luthor to arrest him. But it's not for Baravia. It's for the threat to like all of humanity. I think it's maybe arguably like even something good, right? In terms of the American government is like unwilling until like the whole world is threatened or something. Now I don't think the American government are played as super evil. They're not played as like super good, but like they're played as more kind of unwilling to initially go with Lex's plans, but then ultimately just acquiescing to the reality that humans are going to be more of a role in what's going on, and a little bit like they're wary of the fact that they're losing power, not that like Baravia is in control of everything, and we need to let them invade their other country. They don't really give a shit about it. We are pressed over and over again with the message that these ties are corrupt and sealed in blood. No. For example, reporters tells us in the film that Baravia's purchased $80 billion in arms from Luthor Corp, and that Luthor Corp in turn lobbies for Baravia. But that's shown to be not the true relationship. Like Lex Luthor doesn't really care about this money. They literally say this, that he doesn't care about this money. Right?
Yeah, read the next
and Luthor.
read the next line, dude. Fucking hell.
promising Luther half of Gaza in return for the rest. And they literally say this is a side deal. Why does he need a desert? One character asks, because it has great resource deposits. Comes to reply, a direct mirror of infantile leftist material analysis claims that Israel and America are only in Gaza for the strip's plentiful sand deposits or something. What? It's revealed he's taking this at a loss, and this is just a side deal, and he actually doesn't care about it, right? Why does he need a desert? He doesn't really need it. It's just a side deal. That's a good question, and it's not really. This isn't really what's motivating him. So it's actually like this is not true. Right? Even if this were some kind of leftist materialist analysis, it's undercut in the movie because that's not actually what's motivating him. What's motivating him are very human things, like not material things, but like ego and a desire, a fear, right? Fear of the unknown. He's like, I'm afraid. It's not a materialist analysis. Luther actually details his evil Zod plans. No, very extensively for Superman. And by extension, the viewer, he boasts of his interdimensional bot farms where literal monkeys work on treadmills to smear Superman with evil Hasbro propaganda. Okay, this part actually happened, but it's not Hasbro. It's not. Yes, he does have interdimensional bot farms with literal monkeys working to do this shit, but it's not for the purposes that he's saying here, so let's just be real. As Sean King correctly notes in his mentally ill Substack post about the movie, so he's making common cause with Sean King and Hassan in the sense that he's basically agreeing with their characterization of the movie. Their cartoonishly evil propaganda smears against Superman are supposed to mirror contemporary right-wing racist Islamophobic rhetoric today. Ben Gurion and Yahoo accuse Superman of wanting to start a harem of women to outbreed Americans and subjugate them. Who knows how large his harem is already? Yeah, this is based on the message sent on Krypton, and this is based on what Lex wants to do. Lex Luthor accuses Superman of grooming us to take over America. The allusion to an Oriental-style harem and the focus on grooming and outbreeding is supposed to represent a character of anybody critical of Islamic extremism in Europe? No. Prove that. No. The whole point of this, right, is the message is true. And some people didn't like this, that they actually were sending him over. Superman didn't get this message, part of the message. He only got the first part of the message, which was like, go over to this planet, show them the way, that kind of stuff, like all the good stuff. And the second half was like, you need to rebuild Krypton bloodline, and you need to be fruitful and multiply. The humans are dumb. But the whole point is, he's initially in denial, but the message is actually true, right? It is a true message. And the whole point is, just because someone has their preordained destiny, doesn't mean that you are meant to fulfill that. And the Kents literally spell this out and say, it's not for parents to decide what children do. We're supposed to give you the tools so that you can come to your own decisions and you can come to your own conclusions. The threat of the harem stuff, that stuff was real, right? Like you were meant to, and the whole point of that is he's not doomed to that kind of lifestyle or whatever. He's not doomed to do that forever. Not to be like some critique of anyone critical of Islamic extremism. That's such a stretch. I mean, the reference to grooming is extremely on the nose in light of the incendiary debate over grooming gangs in Britain. This guy has issues, huge, humongous issues. We watch as he is dehumanized. Superman is not a man. He is an alien. Luther pronounces, I've sacrificed my own humanity to help get rid of it. Their evil is just blatant cartoons. It's a fucking superhero movie. Yeah, the message is they're dehumanizing Superman. He's not initially human, but he's one of us. That sometimes, right, like people who come from other places live up to our ideals better than the people who were initially, like your birth doesn't determine who you are as a person. It's like a classic trope in these kinds of movies. I mean, just compare this buffoonery to the fascinating villains of the Nolan Batman series. Heath Ledger's Joker, Tom Hardy's Bane. These were genuinely fascinating characters with fascinating backstories and tortured motivations. Oh my god. All right, I love Dark Knight movies. I love Batman. Everyone knows that. But are you serious? Heath Ledger's Joker is the embodiment of chaos. He has no backstory. His whole thing is
yes, he does. He has. I read the next paragraph, Pisco. For fuck's sake, read the next paragraph before getting into fucking attacking me.
He doesn't have a backstory. He lies about the backstory, and he's just an agent of chaos. I love those movies. I love the Nolan movies. But come on. Tortured motivations? What's Bane's tortured motivation? Holy this guy is 2 IQ. 1 IQ.
Tortured motivation. He was raised in that terrible pit and tortured from birth. That's his tortured motivation, dude.
What matters is upload. Like Bane is cartoon. These are cartoonishly evil characters, but also they're cartoons in comic books. Remember Joker's explanation of his scars? The scar thing totally went over his head. It totally went over his head. Heath Ledger's Joker offers two completely contradictory stories. One related to an abusive father, a drinker, and a fiend who mutilates his own child. Another related to a beautiful wife who gambles against the sharks. They carve her face and drive him to insanity. Decades have passed since Heath Ledger's Joker. People are still fascinated by him. They still debate his motivations and the source of his downfall into insanity and evil. Compare this to the cartoon retarded clowns of the new superhero film. What are their motivations? So we're white and we're white colonizers and we hate brown people and Muslims and we're evil. Yeah, so you didn't watch the movie. You don't exactly have to be a detective for sake. It's just 12-year-old shit. This is all supposed to present a caricature of Israeli Hasbara and thereby mock anyone in the real world who's critical of Hamas or Islamic extremism more generally. The film basically seems to revel in ramming this leftist messaging down our throats. Actual shitpost, yeah, true. Luther attacks Superman's fortress of solitude in an assault that's basically...
Heard the Willie Mac shatter in his latest upload today. What's it about? What's his latest upload about? Could you let me know, please?
Inverts October 7th. So now he is saying that this is October 7th. This movie that was written before October 7th is basically inverting October 7th. They behead and decapitate Superman's friendly robots and try to murder. They don't try to murder his dog. They try to abduct his dog. They don't try to murder his dog. So anytime that someone friendly is being destroyed, it's an inversion of October 7th, which inverts the actual history of October 7th, where Hamas fighters film themselves executing family pets and attempting to behead Thai migrant workers while screaming Yahoo, Yahoo, Yahoo. Then they have Superman arrested by ICE. It's a meme. Don't get mad. It's a meme. Arrested.
It is actually so obviously supposed to be ICE in the movie. It's all like these thuggish government agents arresting him, throwing him into the ground. It's so obvious that it's basically ICE and CCOT.
ICE on false grounds and thrown into a heavily militarized prison that looks a lot like El Salvador's CCOT. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like CCOT. It's an interdimensional prison. Everyone has their own individualized cell with like windows. Doesn't it all look like CCOT? It's in a pocket dimension. We are told that governments around the world farm out their political prisoners to this black site. A media report helpfully clarifies for us viewers that the government...
Yeah, that is such a good example that it is supposed to be CCOT, because the movie actually stops and the guy turns to the camera and is like, all the governments of the world send their political prisoners here to this black site. It's like, you're doing El Salvador CCOT, dude.
Do this because Superman restored all legal and human rights by a Supreme Court decision that denied human rights to illegal aliens. Wow, it is just like real life. He denounces Israel's attempt at regime change, mocks their claims of bringing freedom to Burhan Purins. Is this a spell mistake or am I missing a joke? He's literally not bringing freedom to them. Darhanpur is not perfect, but that doesn't give Baravia the right to invade. Baravia is not well intentioned. They aren't freeing the Darhanpurins. Why do we need to base Superman off Noam Chomsky? Oh, right, Noam Chomsky, who's very in favor of unilateralism by superheroes to come in and save the day. Noam Chomsky, who's very in favor of someone just to come in and save the day like Superman. Insane. I don't know. All art and creative endeavor must be subordinated to the omni-cause for some unclear reason. Superman ultimately breaks out of CCOT in the film. The final boss fight takes place inside a baseball stadium, an implicit stand for American identity against the insidious forces of the Yehudi. It's just a baseball stadium, my God. signal that American identity is associated. The final
I saw somebody mention studying Carl Schmitt. I have a massive Carl Schmitt biography by Reinhard Mehring, and I'm studying it because I hate him so much that I have to study. You have to study your enemies to defeat them.
boss fight takes place inside a baseball stadium, an implicit stand for American identity against the insidious forces of the Yehudi. It's just a baseball stadium, my guy. They also go to other places. Imagine, so he's saying, oh yes, James Gunn is, we shall have it in the baseball field so that people know that the Jews are trying to, I don't know, that we must, what is this implicit stand? I don't understand actually at this point.
It's just a funny symbol that you know, America, the symbol of Superman, the hero for America, is fighting against basically the pro-Israeli forces in American baseball stadium, dude.
Yes. We need to destroy American identity because this was anti-American, or are they trying to signal that American identity is associated with defense against Moravia? Luther and the American.
What ideas do you hate? I ultimately hate the idea that you should reduce every single person in the world to friend or enemy distinction. I think that's an evil thing to do. Unfortunately, leftists do it all the time, and that's why I'm studying it, because the leftists have actually weaponized Schmittian ideas against normal people. That's what's happening.
Military industrial complex works in conjunction with the Yehud to try and defeat Superman inside this baseball stadium by covering him with a scary black goo substance that seeps over his blue Aryan eyes and steals them away from him. The guy is a Jew. The actor is Jewish. His blue Aryan eyes. Perhaps director James Gunn was inspired by Zara's blue eyes, the Iranian state television which centers on a Jewish plot to steal the eyes of Palestinian children in the West Bank. Honestly, thank you, James, for giving voice to the oppressed people of the global South and letting the subaltern speak. We all know that the perfidious Yehudi are always trying to steal the blue eyes of their racial superiors, and it is important we emphasize this to the world in top-tier Hollywood AAA production. The movie ends with Netanyahu killed and Luther arrested and paraded before television cameras as the agent of Zog, a traitor, a foreign agent. Leftist power fantasies fulfilled. We see a figure on the television declare that the one thing both liberals and conservatives can agree on is that Lex Luthor is the devil. Tucker, DSA, Red-Brown alliance against Israel complete. So now we're like aligning ourselves with Tucker. That's what James Gunn is doing. Gunn includes like one single throwaway line at the end of the film to try to refute allegations that he basically made a Groyper movie. Lex Luthor, the stand-in for the American military-industrial complex, says, I'm not controlled by Israel. I actually made the conflict to distract everyone. But again, this doesn't make sense against the backdrop of the entire film, which constantly portrays him as slaves to the Yehudi. It's literally the opposite. The entire film shows him in control of everything. And constantly the film is like...
He's doing everything in the movie for Israel to further their foreign policy goals.
Questioning why this would happen, where the ultimate reason given is to stop Superman. I guess I should conclude by noting that Superman character is played by a Jewish guy, but who really cares? Considering the entire movie is basically a Groyper fantasy about Zog and the interdimensional Zionist threat. Seriously, what psychotic clown show? Don't people want to be treated like adults? Who actually wants this slop? All right, I'm going to be very rude to Drew in my tweet now.
Either this is a master troll or at Drew Pavlaw is 2 IQ. We need to discuss this, Drew.
I don't know what to say about this. I mean, it's super nuts, this whole thing.
I am going to actually debate. I'm debating Pisco tomorrow. Tomorrow, Australia time, it'll be, I think, 9 p.m. American time tomorrow. I'm going to go up against him. Willie OAM. What did he say?
G'day, legends. I hope that you're having a fantastic...
Yeah, today for Americans. Somebody said that Willie O.N. shouted us out in his latest video. Could somebody let me know where that is?
G'day, legends. I hope that you're having a...
I'll give his videos a like. I like Willie O.M. Oh, Bad Empanada. So he's talking about Bad Empanada? Oh, thank you, DCL.
G'day, legends. I hope
Bad
you're having a
Empanada.
fantastic... The problem is mass. The problem is always being mass. Every single for displacement. And
Oh, wait, hang on. Willie Mac, not Willie OAM. Okay, sorry, I was confused. That makes sense now. I was trying to work it out. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Willie Mac show, not Willie OAM. Okay, that makes a lot of
Ethan Klein has
sense.
managed to make enemies with the most incompetent people on the internet. Career Clash is
Oh, okay.
really unlucky in going after me is I work better when I was trying to hire a law firm to
that
make group.
videos came out. I remember doing this, like, I did a short interview with Willie Mac like a month ago or 2 months ago. Damn, I forgot about that. I was confused. I thought you meant Willie OAM, the Russia-Ukraine war commentator. I was really confused. I was like, why would he be mentioning me out of nowhere? Okay, let's watch this.
Bad Empanada is going on shows saying that everyone living in Israel deserves the wall.
Why did I call you anti-Semitic?
Willie Mac G, Willie Mac Show, yep. Drew, you should react to Destiny recent street arguments. What's his street argument say? I'll have a look at that.
Quoted her calling me anti-Semitic.
Wasn't it because
And her evidence for me being anti-Semitic was me quoting her.
listen, don't worry, okay? If I ever call you anti-Semitic, it's because you say things like responding to someone who says, "I was born in Israel and never left. What should be done to me?" And you respond with "wall. Colonizers get the wall."
Yeah,
I think that sounds anti-Semitic to me. Yeah.
That guy is for one. How is that anti-Semitic in the first place? For one, are settler colonialists automatically like? Is
Do you
colonizer?
think everyone who was born in Israel is a settler colonialist?
Everyone who was born in Israel as part of the settler colonial Israeli state and its ethno-nationalist project is obviously a settler colonialist.
Just casually advocating that everyone there should die. And if you ever disagree with Bad Empanada, he escalates. He docks Lowerbox saying the resistance is coming. He's threatening another person in DMs with her docs. And then he went and bragged in his Discord about it, spreading it farther, saying, "Lol, banned for posting socked on left's racism screenshots." No, I actually think it's because you posted his full name, which you're doing again in your Discord right now. This guy says he doesn't support Palestine. Bad Empanada posts the city he lives in. It's unhinged, but it gets worse. Lowerbox
Fuck is unhinged, eh?
and Destiny were interviewing Palestinians in the West Bank. So Bad Empanada calls for the Palestinian militia group Lion's Den to go kill them. Lion's Den, where are you? They were targets for an operation at your doorstep. Please, resistance, they're right there. No one would even know. He made up that Lowerbox's dad was part of a militia group that killed a bunch of Lebanese civilians.
His father was a member of a Falun Gong
Nessa says, "Yo, Drew, hope you are doing well. Thank you, man."
militia, which were fascist troops who
Destiny going on tour and okay. Destiny street interviews, street arguments. Okay, we'll watch that after.
pro-Israel and would massacre Palestinian refugees in Lebanon. So remember that.
I asked Lowerbox.
DCL says, Drew will donate next time when I ain't been on money and busy with. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
About this, and he said absolutely
Good to
not.
see
All my
you.
aunts and uncles
Thanks,
left during the Civil War because it was a civil war. But that didn't stop Bad Empanada from spreading this lie. He tweeted from one of his many alt accounts because he's always getting banned. This man's seething hatred for Palestinians makes more sense when you realize his dad was a fascist Falange militia member who massacred them. I asked Lowerbox about this too, and he said, yes, that's very fake. People are asking Bad Empanada, how do you know his father's background? And Bad Empanada has no answer, posts no evidence. He says Zionist anywhere or combatants. And we've determined that a Zionist to this guy is anyone who types in Ethan's chat. He doxed his full name and address in his Discord, tweeted out that Israelis should be doxed. But Bad Empanada doesn't stop at being a doxer and harasser. He also files some of the dumbest DMCA takedowns. He made a video titled "This YouTuber Reviews Rapes," referring to Nicholas Diorio. In the video, does Bad Empanada find a single time where Nick reviews rape? No, of course not, because it doesn't exist. It's a meme title. But Bad Empanada is gonna act like it's real anyway.
Have you guys ever heard of a show called The Ultimate Rape Review? It's a show in which the hosts review the latest rapes. Let me
Bad
show you the
Empanada is
intro.
so unhinged, dude. He's so unhinged.
Bro, this is the intro to The Ultimate Rape Review.
What I showed you is pretty much exactly what Nick posted to Twitter. The majority of Nick's tweets show Bad Empanada sitting in silence watching Nick's intro. Yet Bad Empanada decided to strike Nick's tweet anyway.
He filed 3 DMCAs on me for responding to parts of this video. The first 30 seconds is what I posted to Twitter. So if you go to his YouTube channel right now and you click on this video and watch the first fucking 39, 40 seconds about, it's just him silently reacting to my Ultimate Rape Review intro. He says at the beginning something like, Nicholas Diorio hosts a show called Ultimate Rape Review, and he just sits silently watching my content, and then he struck it. This clip right here was like another, it was like 32 seconds.
Drew, do you like Tony Abbott? Look, he wasn't a very effective or good prime minister.
Or something. Shortly after that, he lied to everybody saying that I was trying to hide it, so you actually had to search. The guy didn't even do any research.
Bad Empanada wrote, "I'll be copyright striking anyone who uses my content without making it sufficiently transformative," who expressed support for Ethan Klein's false copyright campaign. But it doesn't stop there. Bad Empanada tried to hire a law firm to intimidate Drew Pavlo. Drew's lawyer just wrote a letter documenting what Bad Empanada did, and they dropped him as a client. This was all documented in a blog that Drew Pavlo released. I actually interviewed Drew about Bad Empanada, and he graced us with some extra details. Specifics, did he go ahead?
This is funny. I did this debate. I think I did this short interview with Willie Mac like 2 months ago or something like that. It's cool to be here. Easy Money asked, Drew, why does Destiny's Reddit hate you? Dude, Destiny's Reddit's like communist. Like, what the hell? Where did all these communists come from on Destiny's Reddit? I'm actually shocked. I looked at Destiny's Reddit today, and it's all these people going like, fucking behead Drew. It's like, what the fuck's going on? How about Menzies and Curtin? I think Menzies and Curtin were great figures. Menzies, it's a big shame that in the lead up to World War II, he was trying to ship iron ore to Japan. That was a big disaster.
And what did he do? Did he post your name somewhere or address or
Yeah.
Let's hear about that.
Posted my address, posted my phone number as well. I had dozens of calls with death threats from all around the world because of that. He made fake images calling me a pedophile and a rapist. He literally invented a full-blown rape allegation against me. He calls me a far-right ultra-Zionist or something like that.
Yeah, I think he calls everybody that.
When he went after me, he was going after someone. I'm Greek Australian like he's a Greek Australian, and I can be just as fucking tough and fucking insane as he can be. So,
It's in your blood, is what you're saying.
Literally in my blood. So like, what he did is he found some random like suburban Better Call Saul type law firm in Australia, and this is the thing with Bad Empanada. He actually has no money. He's not very wealthy, I don't think. So he finds law firms that are like no win, no fee. Like he goes to a law firm and he will take a deal where it's like he only pays them if he wins a lawsuit, right? And what he did to this law firm is he would have gone to them and he would have said, listen, this guy called me a pedo on the internet. And, you know, if you don't know anything about Bad Empanada at all, and you just think, oh, this guy's been, you know, called a pedophile, you probably think, oh, this is an open shut defamation case. And so they take it on as a no win, no fee matter. One of the other things that made Bad Empanada really unlucky in going after me is I work for one of the best lawyers in Australia. I work for this man named Tony
This
Morris Case.
cracked me up when reading your article.
This is a guy who's like he represented like Noel Gallagher from Oasis. He represented multiple
True story about Tony Morris. Literally represented Noel Gallagher from Oasis.
Australian prime ministers in court. This is a guy who, in an ordinary day-to-day court matter, he would be charging like $10,000 a day. And because he's like sort of like my second dad. Like he's like, we've got a great relationship. He's like, you know, I tutor his kids. I look after his dogs. You know, like he wrote this legal letter pro bono for free. He just went through everything Bad Empanada said in that letter. Now, the whole purpose of a defamation lawsuit, right, is to try and protect your reputation. So to be able to sue somebody for defaming your reputation, you actually have to have a good reputation that is capable of being harmed. And essentially our ingenious argument that me and Tony Morris like were brainstorming and we worked up together is this guy literally has no reputation that is capable of being defamed. If you're somebody who literally has spent years on the internet advocating genocide, mass murder, terrorist attacks, rape, murder, child abuse even, also just doxed all these people, sent death threats to all these people, you can't then go forward and just be like, oh, this guy called me a bad...
There's nothing worse you could say about him that he hasn't already done.
Yeah, literally, right? Like,
Drew was telling stories about how a fan who made edits for him was getting calls from Bad Empanada while he was working at McDonald's. Now, to be clear, I have no way to confirm if this allegation is real, but after seeing everything else, I'm not gonna exactly...
That's actually true. So there was this one guy on Twitter who was like just 18 and he just like liked my stuff. So he started making edits for me, like just a fan. And I was like, okay, cool. Became friends. And like Bad Empanada went through his entire Twitter and the guy had like 100 followers. Bad Empanada went through his entire Twitter background. Saw a photo where the guy mentioned that he worked at McDonald's in like Darwin. And then started calling up every single McDonald's in the city. And there's like only a couple McDonald's, so he was calling up every single one trying to get the guy fired. Like, this is such a fucking mental guy. He's such a mental case.
Write it off.
multiple close family members of mine were doxxed by Bad Empanada.
And your family has nothing to do with any of your political activism, right? It's just...
Yeah, literally nothing. Like, literally no politics at all, nothing. For example, there was this one young guy who was making video edits for me. He used to live in Darwin. And Bad Empanada somehow found out that this guy used to work at McDonald's, and there's only a couple of McDonald's in Darwin because it's a really small town. And he literally called up like all 3 or 4 McDonald's in the town of Darwin trying to get this guy fired, trying to say he's a pedophile over the phone to his boss.
Yeah, what a freak.
Yeah, just craziness, right? Like, this was like a random like 19-year-old guy. My only connection with this guy was he made like 2-3 video edits for me, and he saw this guy on my Twitter, and yeah, decided like he's gonna call up this guy's. He thought they could find the guy's workplace. He wasn't even working at McDonald's by the time he did this, but he was just calling up all these McDonald's across Darwin trying to get this guy fired, trying to tell his employees that he was a pedophile and rapist and stuff. Like, this guy's really sick.
Bad Empanada has also said this on live stream, referring to how other people treat him.
Don't get involved into YouTube politics unless you're prepared for people to like start accusing you of pedophilia randomly. Because that's what happens when you're anti-Israel. Remember that.
Oh, dude, I sympathize with you if that's true, but you literally make up stuff about everybody. You have
He literally makes up stuff about every single fucking person.
zero principles. I did find an interaction where a guy named Shark was seemingly spreading unsubstantiated allegations that Bad Empanada had SA charges against him, while posting no evidence of it. In response, Bad Empanada fabricated a tweet of Shark admitting to being a sex offender. Bad Empanada's own viewer asked, is this real? And Bad Empanada lies 100% real. Spread it now. Bad Empanada then fabricated a second tweet about how this guy likes CP. You two should get married. You deserve each other. Both these people suck.
Amazing thing is the maliciousness with which he acts. So, for example, he's gone around saying, Drew Pavlu doxed me, Drew Pavlu shared my real name, and that's how Ethan Klein got the name, and blah, blah, blah. Dude, he used his own Facebook name with his real name to actually just start targeting my family members. So, like, my mom, my family members were getting messages from him on Facebook, threatening other people the way he's threatened me. I just want other people to have the peace of mind that I had. I was the most lucky guy in the world, right? I was the luckiest guy in the world because he went after me not knowing that, like, my second dad is, like, one of the best lawyers in Australia, right? Bad Empanada has done this to so many people who don't have the resource to fight back. I don't care about your politics, right? Go follow someone else who's anti-Zionist. Go follow someone else who's pro-Palestine. Just don't back this guy who is literally has the mindset of a terrorist, and the way he goes after people is literally the same way he goes after it's the same way that a psychopath treats people. That's what even when I say to some psycho, right? Like, even if you like that he's like pro-Palestine or whatever, like, man, literally have a fucking soul for once, and like, just recognize, like, even if you were to politically align, just even on personal grounds, you should just keep clear of this guy. It's crazy that they're now backing him.
I don't really care if people watch Bad Empanada or not. They could do what they want. I just feel like it was important to document some of my findings in a video. This guy is unhinged. Drew, where can people find you?
Just my name, Drew Pavlu. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube as well. I'd encourage people to go to my YouTube because I'm really just trying to start out as a streamer and sort of do YouTube content too. And by the time this goes out, I'll probably have my YouTube video out on my whole legal battle with Bad Empanada.
And there it is. So if you want more details, go check that out. I want to wrap up.
Very, very nice of Willie Mac to do that. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Willie Mack. He's a very kind guy to help me promote that. Thank you, man.
This video by saying, I know we're talking about the victims of Ethan Klein, but really these people are just victims of their own stupidity. Whether it's gleefully bragging about breaking copyright law or promoting one of the most deplorable doxers on the internet, these people always find a way to be horrible. Their brand at this point is lying. Well, now some of them are in court. Good luck lying to a judge. I also want to thank Bad Empanada for getting me to talk so much about doxing. It reminds me to tell you to sign up for Aura, code Willie Mac, protect yourself online. And remember to subscribe to the channel. And shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Drinkobex, Necro Valley, The Confusing Opinion, Eddie Bizzle, Tiz McFitz, Christopher H, Senial Music, Lucas If, ET Automatic, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amur MLB, Rooney Boo, Drew is Sharon, Clown Factory, Monkey D Luffy, Shura, Mustard Shirt Guy, Tiffany 2 Trill, and the mega homies, Hellison, IGP, or
I love
Taxi.
that guy. He's a really cool guy. Willie Mac's awesome. Drew, why you got no sponsors? I'll try and get some sponsors in the future. Good idea. Good idea. I'll try and get some sponsors. What do you think of the Bronze Age class? Yeah. I keep getting people asking me about that. I don't know what they want me to say. I had that Swindon guy commenting every single stream of mine for like a whole month. Like, what do you think of the Bronze Age class? I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say. You know what, Selena? You know what? You can come on the show. We can debate and we can discuss. Sometime of the next week, we can do that. That'll be interesting. I've invited Jordan Knight on the show before. I think at one point I want to talk to Ozpill. It'd be interesting to talk to Selena. Someone said she's female Ozpill. Listen, I don't agree with Selena on everything. I think she's much more right-wing than I am. But it'll be interesting. We can talk. What was it? What was it? The thing that I was gonna say. Yeah, no, I'll talk to anybody, so it'd be interesting. But yeah, guys, listen, that's probably going to be the end of the line today for my stream. I want to say thank you to everybody who joined. I'll see you tomorrow. 9 p.m. I think Eastern time, America time. I'm going to be debating Pisco, and we'll talk about Superman and whatnot. Someone Dodo says Selena don't want immigration because she don't want big booty Latinas coming to Australia as competition. I just want to say, like, I am somebody who wants to see low immigration, but specifically when it comes to big booty Latinas, I do think they actually should be allowed in. I would say open borders for big booty Latinas, just in general. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Thank you. God bless you all. Stay strong. Stay humble.